no yes I catch that what about insurance about so an insurance yantisi here income tax yantisi here road work yantisi here I just promise about who can know why
make I say abra NDC waba yes petrol boy thing do driver phone to me talk
what petrol say petrol 21 diesel 22 yeah trying to say on so embra 14 cities now Mahama Jai no.
Now you can't even talk about Mahama. They should bow their head in shame, down their head in shame.
Try that petrol so ye the be asa ka ho. Minim say nyame adom. Inshallah 2020 NDC Saba.
I agree with John Mahama that the free senior high school was rushed. Meanwhile, the implementations and its necessary things that supposed to support it were not there. That made it to be rushed. If this implementation that Mahama is talking about, that is going to review it and do it well, I think it will be good if it does, because he never abolished it. Of the free HS, the word free HS, he never abolish it, but rather is going to add more value to it.
Yes, sir, and see, way our classmates on him. And so I need to call the same school, them at our school that is me call Ashama, we found Wakwan, so a bisio. Look, I'm saying me to them, got them say, I buy Sika.
John Mahama Bosha na Osha say about power obey no. Many dama kuma super about is about school children no, free SHFC no. Or can say you can say oba obey ni ye, but I'm a frontier here, no see also oba obey say no. But I see say na nkola mu ko school na if you move back this time, we remember this time now the idea no, and you also oba obey ni ye. You know dama kuma so.
Yes, it was a good initiative, but it was not planned very well before they brought it out. It was not planned at all. And if I can recollect, a lot of people, the former president Kufuor's brother complained about it. A lot of people complained about it, but he went ahead and implemented it with our plans. The school has been piled up, then they now let people go first track, second tracks, third tracks. Another issue that we have is people have taken extra classes very serious, because if you don't take teacher for your ward for extra classes, you don't have this thing, because the children will come and stay at home for 3 months. Before you go back to school, your brain all is a cake.
Oh, manage sempa esense mimpo no mbae esumanye gide won ni mu dada ana mimpo no vision e koso ne de won man ni mu no esisanye JMA kasa o man ni mu esisanye ni deje e koso no obi ai ready say obeba na san injuma esamne de hia e pa bi say me say ye kita application ye de chima ende injuma ni ho ntina koye say wonni mo bi mpo ye mfu adwuma enne ye na de ho ahye security mu ebi mu ye adwuma enkase adwuma no eye adwuma de nanso akatua mpo na eye wo mu no ni na ye yam se oba no bebe bi adwuma obligated job mpo e de amanya na eye ni je something ye youth ni de ye na na aka ese susu a ya nkase ye advice ye ho ye group se oba pa ye na beto santi akwakoto abade amano
inta mo grombe me fu jo mambe deva ashindo wala katan ya doro jirabe nya amagarelifia magaramete yisku kai ka ba atuma gba otaba awra nakau e mo gba free education o ba free education o mo la ha ma magarete yimu dey the free education ha school yo e ka ba school ko maliu dan po mo control do ha ata no beta no e ka ba free education ta ma wait ni time e ma kadimia fofo ye va ha agbona organimi ka ba e me o chomo buya to so amba ta me believe pa
of me say yeah entrepreneurs no or boy in a way like all my apprentices na yeah train no oh yeah good But me time mission at the palm no. Easy. And move on so this current youth will be and time pay this kind of trade no mission. And it's a balance of boy or more in these times now. I think that the youth will go in to learn.
Before the previous administration exited office, on this particular campus, the Regional Maritime University, a vocational center was built, was to help students come up with their techniques when it comes to welding and all that. Because I quite remember the former president came to the school and then spoke about the fact that on the rig one time they needed welders to work there, and then it was very alarming that they didn't really have professional welders in Ghana. So based on that fact, that facility was set up. But since the government left office, nothing much had come out of it. So I think with the job creation, giving students the opportunity to have free vocational education after school, they would be able to come out and then set up some jobs for themselves.
When a criminal or an armed robber breaks into your home, he does not hail a Yezu or Kukudu. At that point in time, that criminal or that armed robber is thinking about his stomach. So I believe that a visionary leader like this, that is bringing policies, that is actually going to give some livelihood to the youth, I think will go a long way to grant us some safety within the community.
Settle from Kojobi 2020 the Mahameba and the Mukele cross offer. I go for Dubai and we share 4 years, but now so then we'll be here. 1 is 3, 1 for 2. Scanabano, what's your man from you? And Penny Ban said 2020, but soon you think when Abanadi, Mama, I said Mama, Mama, 2020, when you will be on pre-cost, Mama, I said Mama, Mama, 2020, when you will be on pre. Galam say, also, be working or buy no coffee, so yes. What's the intervention? What is this cavitas? Now, what's a low bed? Ubegunu, tell you betu. Over the children benches in the Ubegunu. A pen of a banner said 2020, but when you came from Abanadi, Mama, I said Mama, 2020, when you will be on pre-cost, Mama, I said Mama, 2020, when you will be on pre. We know about what's your cry. O mama so mpo mehwe kura galam say ya didi enu obi na nyesika wo mede totra petrol otrumu credit transfer so ade tax whatever otrumu obebiti Ghana wonim say ane de mama fa say mama fa 2020 ori obi am precoce mama fa
One of the policies our government is going to bring is to help stimulate small businesses like this. For small businesses like Setoji's business and all these little businesses that Ghanaians own, we are going to exempt them from paying corporate income tax so that they can reinvest their capital in their business. And so for businesses doing a turnover of less than 200,000 Ghana cedis, they will not pay corporate income tax, so that any profit they get, they can reinvest it in expanding the business and employing more people. When you're setting up a business, the first year is the most difficult year because at that time you are investing. And so I also announced that for medium-sized businesses that do up to a turnover of 2 million and that employ up to 20 people, for the first year when they are investing, they will not pay corporate income tax. Those that employ 20 people and above, for the first 2 years when they are setting up the business, they will not pay any corporate income tax. This is the best stimulus we can give to indigenous Ghanaian business people, so that they can invest in small and medium enterprises that build an economy.
Good legacies never die. Championing the hopes of the next chapter of our nation's development is a man who needs no introduction. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, affable, decisive, and compassionate. These are key attributes amongst his numerous qualities which makes him stand out as a beacon of hope for Ghana come 7 December elections. Unlike his political opponents who are still at the sword-cutting stage of their government, "4 years of the Mahama-led administration completed several projects in the areas of infrastructure, energy, health, agriculture, education, amongst others. These resulted in a massive boost in the country's economy. During his tenure, he steered the country through a difficult power crisis by deploying several emergency plans which added 800 megawatts of power and also sped up the completion of ongoing plans. This clearly rescued the nation out of the power crisis. Even though the ruling party continually claimed to be the ones who ended the crisis, the facts remain. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama solved the situation before handing over power.
I almost fell from my chair when I heard the minister saying that they've solved doom-solve. Solved doom-solve. Mr. Speaker, I was looking for one energy negotiated project that this government in 1 year has been able to do. Mr. Speaker, at least give John Dramani Mahama and the NDC some credit. The legacy of John Mahama still goes to 2018. When this government in this budget was talking about power projections for 2018, they mentioned early power and sand power. Do you know how those plans were negotiated and started? At least give the NDC some credit and respect.
Several villages got connected to the national grid under his rural electrification program. Water, they say, is life. The Mahama-led administration increased investment for the provision of quality and clean drinking water. Several boreholes were constructed across rural communities, and urban treatment projects were introduced to help in the supply of clean drinking water in cities and towns. The Teshi desalination plant, Pond water expansion, and the ATMA projects are examples.
And possibly, and this is here. So, looking for because you're in Yaya, I am Galina. My Papa, and show the ring himself a life. And the idea to my money and this is my dear.
It is therefore not surprising a report in 2015 showed that more than 76% of people living in both rural and urban communities had access to clean drinking water. The road sector saw a phenomenal investment under his tenure. The Nkrumah interchange, Kaswa overhead, Airport Hills Burma Camp network of roads, and the 37 Elwak Trade Fair Road are examples of his impressive work in the road sector. Projects like the Tamamoto Way Roundabout, New Bridge from the Flower Pot Roundabout, and several others commenced during his term.
President Mahama has cut sword for the commencement of the $1.5 billion Tema Port expansion.
He inherited an ailing economy, which was running a high deficit with an increasing rate in inflation and interest rates, coupled with a rapidly depreciating currency. As a bold, decisive leader, he steered the economy back into a stable state.
In Ghana, we started with a strong socialist model where the state, was responsible for almost everything. Government's responsibility, one, is to accelerate the economy. By natural acceleration of the economy, natural jobs will be created in the private sector. Government must create an enabling environment that makes it conducive for business. And in that environment, jobs will be created.
The genesis of this factory was from an official visit I paid to the Czech Republic. And the Czech, during the discussions with the Czechs, was the
Hey, you song with Tika love Janga. You love Janga, you love Janga. So come love Janga. Hey, yes, I love Janga. Hey, organizer do Mali, you check out love Janga. Yes, I love Janga. 7 day young man, I love Janga.
Hey, bye. Tiensu yani, yabanje satu ma tiensu. Su yani, sakani, yeswam nama tiensu yani. Kamera de wama ani yang bagu. So tiensu yani yeswam nama. Oh, tuwe pasu suru banzaji sasu wa. Yella binyanga yesu yani ya. Banji kwa ma tiensu yani yella ma. Sora katanen kachang sakani. Okay, okay. Boss, I have nothing to say. Okay.
Choboy. Ezu. Todazima binuma. Teko abola mbalumam. Kuchanantu su aduantiti. Katilapsina pakamanti. Te Jirmadana incoming member of parliament for Walewale constituency, Honorable Abdallah Abubakari. Kuzangi sang gam sabam biapang City.
ka kudi azama ka zangi ti jirma da wulsiti ka azama ma dika program ma changi so mbalma ibiani ngomre nan so adwantiti
dimi ado adwa jingaya
aba
salamu alaikum to na wundi aso ko mbal ma min tum manan dunan zan pa an zan zama to ma zan nan na wonno ne na won chaka ta jinin na bismillah ta yi alhamdulillah na won chaka so kam shi yksi pa insha Allah karin yala alhamdulillah so mun kan mu yi yksi na won ke so kam duna lafiya na an gumtira nasarati na gumtina kirengo yallan bala yar bor yoyo ma kana wona na won ku yana ti ibun ya bushele insha Allah da nan zo na won ta katare tu zan fatiha da salatul fatih na won tumtala tan borshele shar fatiha alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin arrahmanir rahim maliki yawmiddin iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in ihdina siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim ghairil maghdubi alaihim waraddallin آمين صلاة الفاتحة اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أقولك والخاتم لمن سبق ناس الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك مستقيم وعلى آله حق قدر من كدار معظيم صلوا على النبي الكريم بسم الله
introduction atuna tukumbulu masjid ka bato asi libro
lazima secretary 1 minute
yimbuli
okay
do that
Ezu Choboy Ti yazangla tumpa wakati jan ti yazangla na pakmanti the incoming member of parliament Honorable Abdallah Abubakari ka uzang dazima katichantoni dezugu mboli Honorable Abdallah Abubakari incoming member of parliament for Walewale constituency.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي أسرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري وأحل العقدة من لساني يفقه القول اللهم أفتح علي فتور العارفين بحكمتك وأشر علي رحمتك وذكرني ما نسيت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام أيزو بازيكو مبومنا أيزا Eyazazu Eyazuza Eyazuzuza Eyazazazu na ondi asugo bani iyina zankpamme bandole te nama anchena wulse dadam bandole nchena eyapila numvugu so nwanshia nwaimanda shikukusha azugu kadwa ma nwanshi yaroma lalad nirma rana so kam za miunu kana jinyo azula ka cha kamba ya yaban wumnu lahbar ka jinyo ma ngwan la te party ma NDC party gana za chama manu yi wampa usugu gana za ngwan njia mbe yaroma omunna kaza wulsina ala yaban nabo chirgu ngwan nya chief Sofo Azoka Tenama wanjia wan ya persabla ma lugune ya nyaso ku ya banajia kabunu golu nangori te North East region tenda ningma dratu ya kata NDC party babwa chairman swa ngwan ya zaletin bangma de zugutu North East region regional NDC chairman ngwan nya Mr. Alhassan Natoma ngwan la nuvu swa ngwan jia entabe Mr. Alhassan Natoma kanza ulsema kagba ya NDC bungma ma regional chairman ikuchenna umalaban dolu ka bukata mana to wa constituency wa ne katankwasi NDC chairman ngwan nya Idrisu Kasim ama sam bambieli tinama yi ankara ka ba twetin ban wannan ba yin ne nyala tiza ti shebu bere ti shebu ba ti shebu tuzwa ti shebu nyahara omungba ya tukana tumbulu nyala gamba nira araji lugi gamba binyo wanda anya metro mass basma wanda anya md tunda be nam tamshama wanda nya Mr Hassan lugi wanda binya ngoma to tunda be nam ne nufu sonda be ni kanama iya gbagbari shebolu ku kana ka bagbai laran marana sulmin tribuni termiula chief of staff la chief of staff ma wanda nya uche udol tinchana wani nya honorable Julius Debra wani jipuno ma mamun wanto harama na bapun sangma an wulsiya ama yato asha poi kanzang nama an wulsiya obe bani to batiyama ne tizake matu wa'alli wa wa'alli urai duwa zani rali ni nudiya speaker to asi inyaka na aci muza kahara sangbangu soka za to Allah sangbangu yabanda abu min wanya sangbangu wa Dr. Baume wanda ajini ya niti so varwa na apa vara anyala ligilla wanda yela ka kanye magana obiaka wanda nyata za beri pema Alhaji Abubakar so ay bambon so gwal maninja ala sabo wa albiya o gbabe bunu wani to nan fugu yinni ezu nan fugu yinni in palem nan san wulsiya
introduce Port as somebody who will hand over to you.
Eza ibor danya arni mali bukata ya ambo danya arma ankwanga yungbal ngoya katish yanya kaso yipunun kunna kaza danya arma bon su ne min sheki tusu sori ambo su yankunya danya arma manto ariyato ashawan yun piyana yin wakan borin danya arshi ka banyarka zuna dabsura nan fuku so ngom mi danya arma ngom birika shila ngom dol shilin birika yungu nun tangalli ka ngom mi ngom birika shila go bebu noni ngoni kan ya dola ku danya arma antama kan bukata ba mali ngoni nya honorable Alidu Zakari te MP kurgu Ezu to dumbe ni yara eza dumbe ni yara nan fugu yin nan palim nan zangu wulsiya la da fugu yin nan wan palim nan zangu wulsiya ma ambiya to zangu wulsiya da man ta zangu wulsiya she ku dwana ndi azama ta zangu wulsiya she ku dwana ndi azama da su kun ya to arnin to ashishe kan to asika kana zangu wulsiya iya yalla ya to abayi kokwa kana zangu wulsiya eza tinchapu na yalla His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ya nan wan karnin turu ka suhurin turu in karin turu ka suhurin turu na ama o malakpa yin kokwa nutu ya nungwa yadina mazugo obolo yali His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ku ninga bunshele kamza nu suguro be turu ngonning suguro be nin shen kabwa ngon su no suguro kabun shele kan do to ma da bubuwar da tan mallan no ayalgu ya no ayalgu nin man ta tar kom iko panyu yin pa ambasi na His Excellency da ma asin nin lara man din mallan na yi hilawa azu da ban na ngon yal His Excellency ya to ashama ka do Qur'an puni yanka do Qur'an puni da Qur'an yaltini ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati wa mau'izatul hasana nalaka na yalti ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati wa mau'izatul hasana na halidi ni ki ya bonan nirbu kabace nan dia adiniya nin to asinta bane hankali nuzul shakam vela kapati wana na yayin adini yin to hande da vela kapati wana de wulshan na ba yihila wa azunla eza lala suguro ma nyanga man la yal jang din na bun shele nyala eza ma yal jang na bun shele nyala to vote sha kan da gala vote sha kan da gala te endi se gwamnatin ni ra so ya aro pam katu suriya ne yuno ya zomti nambo kazo his excellency nambo ya to ari yin ma kan ko sayele kam ngala andola qur'ani kagbara mbera qur'ani wa asa an takrabu shay'an wa huwa khairu lakum yauna nete to ne ki sufu yubuni e subu bor buni fas na ya to ala amma kallala buni batinya alheri inti la yalda wa asa an tuhibu shay'an wa huwa sharru lakum don to ne ki su yubuni inti ya kallala buni batinya ya to abio inti ya jangda ni ya tankpasi ya yela ni ya suhon kuli wabgu ama mantesa puni wabgu go hayu arpam wabugu gwaya yorpam da mabaya ya no endi wabugu party mala warshe bu ban mare endi sitin gbanwana MPP tin gbanwana ki tweda janwa puni nzan boda ni chang yewani so ma ne manda chana shekira nye roba de ma ngompu akwo mani mbia yiye ma susukuni shem karin mala sore la hanka tin puni katamar gwamnati ka bajiya kai ne gwamnati kucungo nyaka lala gwamnati ma gwa jang din yori yar chaka ba gwa yori endi se bori ne ya buomti Ewa, tabola ya titi ya wulam kataba wulsia wulam. Azu, ma yale to ashawa ka abuban yale annabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam yalka. Annabi yaltinya yuhibbu man ahabba. Al mar'u ma'a man ahabba. Bon shele kam ki ya ngi nyel amla no vukshebe bang en yuyi te andi se gwamnati te andi se party te yu jang ne katankpansi ka bori ya sun te katagba kuya bukata tin jatam shawa ma tam kanin biya to asapam nan zane biya ni kayya ne dem mukpam nyala drindar mai papai yande tam te yela. At this particular point in time, I will want to take the singular honor and privilege in this particular evening to introduce to the people of Janga traditional area the man who is going to set a new precedence in Ghana. In the history of Ghana, we've never had an election like the one we are going to have. Because we've never had an election where a former president is contesting a sitting president. We have never had that in the history of Ghana. On the 20th of 7th December 2020, we are going to have an election, and the main contenders are a former president and a sitting president. And we are very hopeful that we are winning this election, because the choice of who to vote for in this election must be based on reality versus reality, unlike the case of 2016 when the choice of the president was one of promises versus reality. But this is going to be reality versus reality, and the records of this man speaks volumes. The record of this man speaks volumes. And therefore, at this particular point in time, may I humbly invite His Excellency, the former President John Dramani Mahama.
Let me thank you all very much. I'm happy to be here in Janga, in the Walewale constituency. And let me apologize to you for our reaching here late. We set off early, but the roads have not been good at all. Amal Bensharo Abinyede Amfani Nagla de Bargia. Lalanda nye NDC. Tadabanye NDC Amfani ka NDC te barge. Ka te ban ne kama NDC nye party ka tudungo te ye nye lebgen sim kam shell kam na la NDC be namne. And to Abuba ne yelsem. Na 2016, the Daniela reality versus promises. Because Tenendabe Mulkini Katitumda Tienye Titudungo Tienye Bogom Nagla NDC Tienye Kom Nagla NDC Shukuru NDC Aspiti NDC Paya NDC Bensha Kamni Be Tugumo Tienye Nagla NDC be government ne. MPP Dabe opposition. Kabiyal ne tishema tibumituma to cheka bankana nkante mal Ghana za. La kabda yele the one district one factory. Bakana district shall come by a Mela factory to Nirbu Pam Tuman and Nangda. No one village one dam. No constituency come be until $1 million every year. No legrama bieni, boko chante die assembly until development Ghana ni. Zongo 4 years. Bakana bakantijin kogamazogo 157 billion cedis. Kabudie assembly. Anye from Nkrumah Ndabie government until Pai Manda She government ne 122 billion Samlika Kitadamala 4 years in Bongo Nana Akufo-Addo no government but the last assembly 157 billion cedis. Shukuru Kani Aspite Kani Tabanya Bogom Kom Kani Babanam Paya Da Kane Ben Shakam how do you say nothing? Yoli. These are Yoli. Ezu Nipam Suglo Dagmanima and Yilla 1111. Those are people to get Nama. Debuto the same senator chanted them people. Ka NDC kanti ka tum net da tum nama ka banama ka taka tenale and chant po amba sonaba kan yellow na solma amba tia na kanti do lala songo ka de be shem so yellow na now to equal ka NDC kana to solma yi nasia kana Janga to ya malle and zan kota nangle venyaga card the Conco Sonny yi Janga and zan chant pa few do the ba to ya malle and zan kota nangle kad male You Zebia, Denzo Neyele English, beautiful. I want to thank you very much for the warm welcome you've given me. We have a choice to make on 7th December, and the choice is simple. As my brother said, in 2016, the MPP had no track record of being in government. Recently, Nana Akufo-Addo had no track record of being in government. And so what Ghanaians had to choose from was their promises against the reality of an NDC administration. And so the promises sounded so sweet. And so I don't blame Ghanaians that they made a choice for the sweet promises. But today, Nana Akufo-Addo has been in office for 4 years. And so we have a basis to compare the NDC and the MPP, John Mahama and Nana Akufo-Addo. In my time in office, I added 56 billion cedis to the public debt. But if you look everywhere in Ghana, you will see evidence of what I used that 56 billion to do. I built schools, I built hospitals, I built roads, I built markets, I extended electricity, I provided water for people, and evidence of it is all over the country. Now let's ask, Nana Akufo-Addo has been in office for 4 years. He has borrowed 157 billion cedis. I haven't seen a single completed secondary school since he came into office. I haven't seen a single completed hospital since he came into office. He's not extended electricity to any place because the access to electricity has gone up by only 2% under his administration. He's not extended water to anybody. Water, access to clean drinking water is 77%, just 1% higher than it was when I was in office. And so the question is, what have you done with 157 billion? When the road from Nasia to Janga is still in this state, we should have done that by now. What have you done with 157 billion to ask for 4 more? All that you have done is family and friends. You ask for 4 more when you have done something, and so you need more time to do something more. But you've done nothing, so why would you ask for more time to do more when you've done nothing? But I know that the people of Ghana cannot be deceived again. Bokoto Yonte, Bundanen 2016 ma, Yungo Bokoto Yonte Lala. Damaka Bibi Nyete. We have a program for farmers, and I know that most of our people here are farmers. We are bringing farmers mechanization centers, and so as a farmer, you don't need to own your own tractor, buy a tractor. The tractors will be there, but between 15 and 20 tractors. We will have plows, we will have harrows, we will have boom sprayers, we will have combine harvesters, everything there. There will be fertilizer, everything you need as a farmer. So at the beginning of the farming season, you will go there, you register as a farmer. They will go and inspect your land, they'll come and plow for you, they'll harrow for you. When your rice is ready, they'll bring the combine harvester and harvest it for you. They'll have threshers, they'll thresh your rice for you. And then when you sell your rice or whatever food crops you're growing, the little debts at the Farmer Service Center, you take a little money and go and pay it off, and then the rest of the money is yours to do whatever you want with it. And so that will boost agriculture in this area, and it will make our people have access to more money. And so NDC has so many new initiatives. We have technical vocational education training so that we can send our young people there to learn a skill. And if you go, you learn free of charge. We'll take you to technical school, vocational school. You learn whatever you want. You want to be an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter, a mason, whatever you want to learn. You learn free of charge, and we'll give you a certificate. And then for those of our young sisters who go and do Kayaye and in the south, we have what we call the National Apprenticeship Program. We're going to attach them to masters, and then we'll pay the masters to train them. And so if they want to be hairdressers or they want to be dressmakers, they will train them. And after they finish training them, we'll give them the machines, either sewing machines or hair dryers, so that they can also come home and come and set up their business, and then they don't have to go down to the south to go and carry people's things. And then we have the issue of insecurity. We all know that when NDC is in power, we are able to go wherever we want at whatever time we want without fear that armed robbers will attack us. But since NDC left office, at this time you can't get up and say you are even going to Walewale because you are afraid on the way armed robbers will attack you. NDC knows how to guarantee the safety and security of this country. And so I know when NDC comes back, when my government comes back, we will make sure that we eliminate the armed robbery menace so that our people can go about their duties without fear. To me, ngon mbor te bambo te bambe tudungo te dayen sabe to you na ti and people. Amal ayua ka ayi tudungo gunda yen chang anti yan kagana nirnya MPP kangun nza nyel ne NDC nya anya to Fulani Bambe pe I don't know how to explain it. I'm just saying that the one who stands for us is the NDC, because recently when we were writing names to register, most of those who challenged us as not being Ghanaian were MPP agents. And the ones who came and defended and said, yes, these are Ghanaians, were the NDC agents. Look at our Fulani brothers and sisters. Anytime they went to register, they said they are not Ghanaian. And yet, and Voltorians too, they said they are Togolese. There's one of you. And so, we should know who cares about us when we go to cast our vote, who tries to alienate you and take you out as not being part, and who is it who tries to bring you in and says, no, you are a part of it. It is the NDC, you know, that stands for us. And so anytime we're going to vote, we should remember that. We have free primary health care. Free primary health care. This is a new arrangement we are bringing. Not everybody has a health insurance card. In Ghana, we're 30 million people. Only 40% of our population has health insurance coverage. And so we're bringing a new arrangement to combine with the health insurance. We call it free primary health care. And with that one, if you're a Ghanaian and you have a Ghana card, that shows that you're a Ghanaian national. If you go to any health facility, up to district hospital, you just have to show your Ghana card and you'll be treated free of charge. Free SHS is here to stay. It is not going anywhere. But NDC is coming to make it better. We're building 200 new secondary schools when we left office. Some of them we completed, some we didn't complete. When we come back, we're going to complete all those that we didn't finish so that we can create more vacancy in secondary school for our children to have access. And when we're able to create that, we will reduce the challenges that they have in the current free SHS. And so I've promised that when I become president, after January 7th, 2021, I give 1 year exactly, we will abolish the double track system and take it out of the way. We will abolish the double track. And I've also announced that we're going to add private schools to the free SHS. So whether you attend the government school or you attend the private school, you will also benefit from free SHS. we're going to upgrade the secondary school here in Janga. And so when I come into office, we're going to add more infrastructure, story buildings, so that we can make it a first-class school. I enchant young people, NDC to them be number I ballot paper mazago. So I use ballot paper mazago. Ayima anye photo mana yule mana NDC akatawiyama kazang no an anudo and zan tab paper ma. Diam suglo wumia ayen table ya the same say na atable su ni ma that mer lala line dem that mer line ma ben na abalo a vote ma saya that mer dem be ba den yana the saya the samia dozo ayen lengle su ni ma anai ka azang benchera nyia no venyara po kana table paper ma de palala na ink ma bo if it doesn't dry dibe kui ka agbero paper ma the non table the she the nice chili, but in na the she the bayi, but yana a boatman the sami. Those are be very careful when you are voting. Tianzala sample ballot papers mana, bami vote ma the same thing about gale and what to banama not to manama bum votation. Kat to Zoblema Banyan vote first time na ma the something that a chance to woba bon votation ka many now bieni ye dang adwa tete now bieni inshallah and this year di Nasara people man. So NDC is going to win, but I want Janga to be part of that victory. And so we will not repeat what happened in 2016. NDC is going to win the majority of the polling stations here in Janga, so that we'll be a part of that victory. So I'll introduce our parliamentary candidate for the Walewale constituency. As you all know, he was a regional minister when I was the president, and he performed very creditably. He's standing again for the second time, and it is my hope and prayer that this time you give him the opportunity to serve you. And so I'll lift his hand in him Bagonu and Zango Uya ka the nang shaida na ngona katipi na ozan NDC Zanli Walewale constituency for December 7th, 2020 elections ma. There's also come MP and Zobla Alaji Abdallah Abuba. There's a Natumapam. That's a part so Labo Koga until Alaji Abuba. Now, Nanga Baka Ningani. Netuma.
When I was little, I wanted to know how things worked, why things happened the way they did. I was lucky to witness the Fourth Republic. Even though I didn't understand much at the time, I could remember the joy on my mother's face when she said, It's a new dawn, Mommy. Come on, let's take you to bed. As we witnessed a new transition, I wondered why no woman was up there to take the front ranks. My mother always said, it's a man's world out there. You need to work hard. 2 questions on my mind. Why don't I do it? Why not me? As things became clearer, I kept asking, how would it be to have one of us at the top? So, I worked harder and even extra hard, hoping that someday, when I'm ready to take the bold step, I'll be undeniable. Nothing good comes easy, they say. I may seem overambitious, but it's good to scare yourself sometimes. My mother said, if all these great men can, I also can.
It's a man's world, my child. You need to work hard.
Working hard for this seemed like a fruitless toil for women. But in 2020, something happened.
Breaking news. The NDC has selected a female running mate.
There's light at the end of the tunnel, we say. This day is the beginning of everything good we've been working for. I'll tell my child and my child's children, just because she can, they also can. Change is here indeed.
Making history is gratifying, but what really matters is not to be the first through the door. What matters is to hold that door open for those behind us.
Come 7th December 2020, let's go to the polls and vote John Dramani Mahama and Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Let's vote for inclusiveness. Let's vote number 2 for change.
Thank you very much. We've done all the campaigning we can, and we're getting ready to wrap up. I think it's been a tough campaign, but we've taken our message to all corners of the country. As the current president said, he said this election is going to be about track records, and I believe that we have the track record to show in terms of development, you know, and I have been president before. Ghanaians have seen my administration, and Ghanaians remember, you know, how things were in my administration, and they can make a comparison with the current government the last 4 years. And so I urge Ghanaians, we're going to implement a lot of new ideas. We're going to implement, you know, programs that will create jobs for young people, because that is the one major existential threat that we have in our country, that if we don't find job for young people, you know, they say that the devil finds work for idle hands. And so that is our number one priority, that everything that we do will be geared towards finding jobs for young people to do. We're going to improve the quality of our free SHS. We're going to abolish the double track so that our children can stay continuously in school without having to come home and stay for 3 long months. We're going to add the private schools into the free SHS program. We're going to finish all the community day schools that we promised, 200 of them, so that we can create more space in the secondary school so that all the children and students can go to school at the same time and vacate at the same time. I'm number 2 on the ballot, and you see my photo, you see the umbrella of the NDC, and then the space for you to put your thumbprint. And so when you go to the polling station on the day, you should vote for number 2. And number 2 is John Mahama, represents a solid track record as president and represents a better prospect for the young people of this country and for the future of Ghana.
Mahama, run up your wet money. Mahama, 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 organ number 2, Mahani, Sukuwadai, hospitals, Aqua Papa, Segana Beya, Yebediye, Yahumatoya, oh, 1 million jobs, Mama, oh, Babe, yo. yeza NDC mia wezo Alada nizongo Kamami Ingeleto Kana bebia
Aye kwele putu Sotupu Mahani Mahina Anu hurkia
Translate
Akemuri Inna anu nigira Ayuri Inna Sabolaye
Number two, economy, Galamse, youth employment, more job, Ghana yede, Boto Munye, translate.
Ratu, Mahama Ratu, Hejo, Urta,
Order number 2,
more jobs,
number 2,
big push, Mahama, Aye kwele putu, Sotupu, Mahani, Mahina, Anu hurkia, Aye kuingira,
7th December, to Abana Mama Hama, Miss Rao, the Boto, Miss Rao, Mama, Order number 2.